Hey, what's going on, guys? So, I think I owe the Star Wars community a little bit of an apology following certain shenanigans I pulled on May 4th of this year. So, call what I'm doing tonight the start of my repentance. Star Wars Racer for the N64. Y'all remember the famous pod race scene from The Phantom Menace, right? Well, this is very much an extension of that, where they've made a full-blown lore and series of tournaments out of that concept. I'm going to do a little bit of dirty here. I'm not going to need what I'm about to do until considerably later in the game, but it helps. First thing we got to do is check in at this registration computer here. Yeah, why not? So first thing we do once we register our account is select from one of initially 6 pod racers. Naturally, one of your choices is Anakin Skywalker. Among them, some other aliens involved in this series here: E.B. Endicott, Dudbolt, Gascano, Elon Mack, and Odie Mandrell. We'll unlock more as we go, and each of these racers has a track for which he is the favorite racer. If the favorite on a track in tournament mode has not been unlocked yet, he becomes unlockable if you win the race he's attached to. We are going to start off, naturally, with Anakin Skywalker. See how he does first. You start out with 3 circuits: Amateur, Semi-Pro, and Galactic, each increasing in difficulty as you go down, with the heating colors basically being your indicator. If you place according to the lower left corner, you unlock the next track, but you must win in order to unlock the racer. Now, Sebulba is interesting in this regard, and you will see why at the end. So you can adjust the winning structure according to what you feel is your own skill. You could play fair, which divides the money up a little bit more toward top 3. Skilled, which weighs it further. Or winner takes all, which literally means that's your gamble. Win, you get all the money. Lose and still get high enough, you still progress in the game, but you don't get any extra money for it. So there's your gamble. It's early in the game, so I'm going to say winner take all. Here's your other choices before we start the race. You can take a good look at your vehicle, using your C buttons to check things out a little closer, if you so choose. Doesn't do very much for you, aside from just visual look. So these pieces are common to every racer you have, and they affect... And the better the piece for each stat, the better the stat is. So for traction, we start out with an R20 repulsor grip, control linkage for turning, a dual 20 PCX injector for acceleration, a plug 2 thrust coil for top speed, a Mark II air brake, a coolant radiator, and a single power cell, which is good for automatic repair. We'll see how that works in the midst of the race. Same for cooling. Everything else kind of speaks for itself if you've ever played a racing game before. In tournament mode, you can also buy parts.
Welcome to Watto's shop, huh? Take a look around. I got everything you need, huh?
So he starts out with something for each stat. And he'll say things like he said in the first movie. Kind of ironic that Anakin's standing in here as a customer.
They come here, how do they find me? They come here, they mess up my store. Hey!
When Anakin's a slave in this shop at this point in time. And there's Qui-Gon on the left. You can see the lightsaber hanging off his belt. Well, let's do some upgrading because here's the first dirty I did.
Outlanders, they come here, how do they find me? They come here, they mess up my store. Hey!
So, I put an Infinite True Guts cheat in here.
They come here, how do they find me?
He doesn't shut up.
They come here, they mess up my store.
So we can replace our R20 with an R60 to improve our traction. And you can see the price on the top left. And in the middle right, there's trade versus cost. So the trade-in value for the piece, plus the extra cost to cover the rest.
How do they find me? They come here, they mess up my store. Hey!
So now if you want to switch back, you can sell it at the same price.
You race pretty good, no doubts there, huh?
So as far as I'm concerned, you don't lose anything for the swap.
Have you
it's just
my chance cube?
Something of a reappropriation of funds. We're going to swap our control linkage for a shift plate. Swap our dual 20 PCX injector for a 44 PCX.
He always wins.
A plug 3 thrust coil will give us a huge top speed boost. You can see the costs here. To put this in perspective, you start with 3,000 True Guts. You can't afford all of this until you start winning races.
Something else?
Mark III air brake, an obvious improvement on the Mark II.
They come here, how do they find me?
A stack 3 radiator. Improves a little bit upon coolant radiator.
You want that one, huh?
And a dual power cell, of course.
Let me think.
Of course, is your obvious upgrade. And now with everybody's stats that much better, a couple of them hovering around the 50% max mark, maybe we can get a better deal in the junkyard too. Let's take a look.
Look around! I got a lots of junk. You banna pihota, Mindia, huh?
You want to check this place every time, because maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe you'll get lucky and a stronger part will show up. It's random how this happens, so either you'll do great or you won't. So looking around, everything will actually help us here.
Have you seen my chance cube?
And the best part is, in the junkyard, they're worth discounts if you're lucky enough to catch it.
You cannot beat Sebulba. He always wins.
So we're going to change out our dual power cell for a rotary power plug. Get us an even better repair rating. And another big boost on the top speed.
What? You think you're gonna beat Sebulba with that pod racer of yours?
Plug 8 swap for plug 3. It's a small, it's a teeny upgrade for the R80, but it's worth it.
Have you seen my chance cube?
A quadrajet air brake.
I am betting heavily on Sebulba. He always wins.
And a dual coolant pump over the stack 3 radiator. 44 PCX injector.
Outlanders, they come here. How do they find me? They come here, they mess up my store. Hey!
Sometimes you'll get the same piece
You race pretty
to
good,
get yourself some
no
money
doubt
back.
to that, huh? You race pretty good, no doubt to that, huh? You banna pihota, Mindia, huh?
I'm curious if the gauge on the right
You banna pihota, Mindia, huh?
is actually all that helpful.
You cannot beat Sebulba. He always
The gauge on the
wins.
right might actually represent discount.
They come here. How do they find
Like
me?
normal,
They come
like
here,
normal
they
full
mess
price
up
compared
my
to
store.
discount.
Hey!
Or maybe it's performance. I've never really played with the junkyard before.
Achubananaya!
Anyway, this control coupling
You're
will
gonna
give us a
lose
little bit better
unless you
turning.
upgrade your pod racer, I think. Back again, huh?
Take a look at this.
You cannot beat Sebulba. He always wins.
All the parts you previously traded around now show up here in the shop as well.
You cannot beat Sebulba. Kunatitaki Malia. Outlanders, they come here. How do they find me? They come here, they mess up my store. Hey!
Oh, I see. The gauge must mean performance.
They come here, they look
Because I've already
around,
got a
they
plug
no
8,
buy. Why
and
nobody
this plug
buy?
8
Hey!
will give us even better.
Outlanders, they come here. How do they find me? They come here, they mess up my store. Hey!
Whoa. We already have maximum, or
You
close to
race
maximum
pretty
braking.
good, no doubts there, huh? Kunatitaki Malia! Have you seen my chance cube?
Can we continue to do better?
Change your mind? You'll not find a better deal anywhere, I think, huh? Ootmins.
Alright, it looks like we've taken our stat boosts as far as we can for the moment. So the pit droids...
You raced pretty good, no doubts there, huh?
So the pit droids will allow us to upgrade, or to repair damaged upgrade parts faster. You could use your 3,000 up front to just buy those.
They come here, they look around,
and give yourself
they no
that
buy.
boost
Why
right from
nobody
the start.
buy?
Once you buy all three, that's it.
Outlanders, they come here. How do they find me? They come here, mess up my store. Hey! Putenanolia! Fuipaniaga!
There we go. Now then, I think we've done all the preliminary stuff for the moment. Let's get to the actual race, shall we?
My chance cube.
The current record holder for this track is Anakin Skywalker.
That was just from my practice run from before. Look at that speed. To put this in perspective, we'd only be going about 350 miles an hour right now. without all that acceleration boosting we did. And look at that power on that brake. Everything would be a lot weaker right now. Our turning is quick too. If you're interested in what the lower stats look like, basically think slower to respond and less crisp than you're looking at right
It's a new lap record.
now. So now here's the thing. If you're boosting, your engine will heat up. That's where the cooling comes in. Next time I boost, watch the smoke on the engines and watch the temperature indicator on the bottom right, surrounding the speed. Well, we'll get a better idea on the final straightaway. Give me a minute. Bottom left you see there is the damage indicator on the engines. Now watch how quick that smoke goes away. And how fast that temp meter basically goes down. Now if you boost to the breaking point, the engine will catch fire. See what that looks like on the end here. Maybe. Well, not quite.
It's a new lap record.
Basically, if your engine catches fire, one of your cells will drain out, and if you let it drain too far, the engine will explode. There's our money winnings on the bottom. And we can see the results, everybody's times here. Well, we beat the track favorite, Sebulba, by nearly 15 seconds. And the reason we don't win Sebulba is because he's actually the favorite on 3 tracks out there. Out of the 25. So yeah, as far as I know, there are 23 racers in the game. Let's see who we got. We haven't seen Toy Dampener, Juan Sandage, or Ben Quadraneros. There should be an R in his name. Bull's Roar, Dud Bolt we do have unlocked. Clegg Holdfast, Mawanek, Fud Sang, Bazi Baranta, Arc Bumpy Roos. Yeah, Dampener came within an eyelash of beating Sebulba. Less than a tenth between Roar and Bolt. I should say less than a 20th. Same for Holdfast and Mawanek. Nothing else super close beyond that. So there we have our winning banner for that race, and the next one has been unlocked. The track favorite for the next one is Teamto Pagales. So we will unlock him and everybody else that's not Sebulba on this track. And the record holder will always register as the favorite if a time record has not already been set. So here's routine. Okay, scratch that. So we can see the upgrades from how we started. And the pit droids have made some major, major repairs, allowing for even better performance on the next race. Our acceleration leaves a great deal to be desired. Hopefully we can fix that fairly soon. See if the junk store's got anything
again,
new.
huh? Putenanoia!
Nothing to improve on here. How about in the junkyard?
Newata nobata!
Ah, here's something.
Outlanders, they come here. How do they find me? They come here, they mess up my store.
44
Hey!
PCX. I think we had that before, but it improves our stats, so...
Chat, gadanoia, mitwana no pata! Putenanoia!
Alright.
Kalpada banki danko!
That's good. Now when you buy parts, the stats stick, no matter which racer you're using. As you can see, they are all far improved compared to before. We're going to give everybody a try as we go here. Let's give the next one to EB Endicott. And here we go. Amateur Race 2. Out of Tatooine and onto Mon Gaza.
My money's on Team Topagales for this race. Just look at the size of those engines.
By the way, the announcer who spoke on the Tatooine Boonta training course, not this guy here, is Greg Proops of Whose Line Is It Anyway and improv comedy fame. Something I didn't know until adulthood.
It's a new lap record.
Now what I like about this small track is if you're good enough, you can start lapping people. Obviously, we are way overstated, so that's going to happen.
It's a new lap record.
Oh, shit. A hard enough impact and you blow up. Plain and simple. All it does is it puts you out of commission for a few seconds, so you just lose a little bit of forward progress. But that's the only side effect. You're not out of the race entirely like you would be in the arcade game. And since we won, here's our new man. Team Topagales. Whom we beat by a little north of 20 seconds. Big separation down toward the bottom. I promise you, ordinarily you'd never see Sebulba ranking in this low. The track favorite will most often be your top competitor. A few times I've seen him, whoever he is, on any given track, finish in fourth. Third or fourth. It's done. It's been done. But anyway. We've had the Boonta training course, the Mon Gaza Speedway. Pardon me. Next up is Beto's Wild Ride on Ando Prime. Now things are going to get a little lengthy and a little hairy. And this is the first track where secret routes come into play. We will see those as we go. Alder Beto's the favorite this time. What can we do?
Back again, huh? Outlanders, they come here.
Nothing in the shop. Ooh. Control stabilizer. Good for
They
turning.
come here, they look around, they no buy. Why nobody buy?
Block 6 thrust coil.
Tulpa bunky danko.
Even better for top speed now.
You're gonna lose unless you upgrade your pod rate. Only the best parts you find here in my shop, huh?
I should have been more
You
diligent
break
about
you
this on the
buy,
last race, but
huh?
that's okay. We're still doing great.
You banna pihota, Mindia, huh?
Okay, that's as good as we're going to do here. Let's bring out our new man. Team Toe Pagales. Everybody's stats are a little bit different, but the more you upgrade, honestly, the less that's going to matter at the end of the day. Here's our first look at the snowy planet of Endo Prime.
The current record holder for this track is
That's Greg Coops.
AlphaPlays.
So now things are going to get a little more dangerous from the basic turns you've seen before. His turning is a bit weak for what we're doing here. Watch that ice, it's as slippery as you might expect. If your traction's not good, you're going to suffer here. That's a promise. Look at that. 800 miles an hour. There's your engine fire. For a brief second, anyway. Alright, let's take the main path first, and then we'll play with the branches later. You can see them up above there.
It's a new lap record.
There's the first secret path. If you see your cell color going hot like that yellow one in the top right, or top left, you can auto repair your cells. And that's accomplished with the R button. If all of your cells are yellow or yellow-green or higher, repairs will not happen. Not one of my finer moments. Let's see if we're real this time. If we can. You can see the flashing cell. If you repair long enough, you'll put the fire out. And there's a branch path. So now we have this way of doing things. As you can see, I'm a little accident prone, but even on normal stats, you won't have too much trouble winning any of these races. This is me just trying to make as good an exhibition as I can. No need to take crazy risks like going through that skinny little rock passage when you can just go around it and have a far better chance of survival. Once you really get experience, you can start pulling tricks off of those slanted walls. unless you're a complete and total lunatic, one or the other. Watch that little lip. If you're riding a motorcycle at 200 miles an hour and you hit a little teeny rock, you can imagine what would happen. You wipe out on the spot. It's pretty much the same principle here. You break 600 and you hit one of those little rocks like that, yeah, you're gonna be hurt. Left path gets you up to the same slalom up here. Oops. Can I beat 4.5? Probably not. Oh well. We still won, that's okay. We never did better than the first lap on that one. And here's Aldarbedo. Those engines are gigantic. Just shy of 10 seconds this time. Nothing else particularly noteworthy. And by noteworthy, I'm saying separations of 1/10 of a second or less. Those are the exciting ones. The photo finishes. Now the Aqualaris Classic on our token water planet. Clegg Holdfast is the man to beat here.
Back again, huh?
If you're statted up this high, you're not likely to get any improvements from the shop anytime soon. Your best bet's the junkyard.
You buy, huh?
It looks like Sebulba's doing some shopping here too. I usually just go through the junkyard once at this point. Like basically, if you don't get any improvements within the first couple visits to the yard before a race, don't bother wasting your time any further. Alright. Let's bring our new man out for a spin, shall we? And for having such big engines, he's got a considerable stat decrease. That's okay. Here we go. Classic Star Wars music. All that John Williams.
The famous writer of Pod Racer Quarterly himself, Clegg Holdfast, is going to give the real thing a try today. Hope he can finish the race.
I love his confidence as he says that. This track's pretty long too. Don't worry about the above scenery, it's not going to hurt you. You can have some fun and ramp it up, but watch your landing. Now, as one might expect, you'll speed up going down and slow down coming up. Be very careful how you boost here and when. One good bump on the lip of the ramp and it's the same as you saw back on the snow planet. The underwater tunnels provide some very nice scenery. Watch what you do here. And that's why.
It's a new lap record.
Oh. Now the auto repair temporarily shuts down that engine. So So it'll slow you down a little bit. But only temporarily until you get it back up to yellow status. Certainly a better alternative than getting blown off. Like that. Now animations begin happening like those doors from the second lap onward. They don't trigger on the first lap. My guess is that's to familiarize you with the track before you start getting tricks thrown at you. Yeah, that's tough to negotiate if you've got an engine with bad turning. Or big engines. Either way is going to hurt you real bad. Music always triggers on the final lap. As you might be able to guess, boosting will severely hurt your turning capability. Really only advisable on a straightaway. Or somewhere you know has a really slight curve on it that you can still negotiate without crashing. Most of the time a crash will be fatal. Other times it'll just knock you off your boost and give you considerable enough damage to worry. Sometimes that'll happen where you brush up enough to slow down. That's just enough to save your life.
It's a new lap record!
Okay, so a little over 18 seconds on the win. Oh wow, 0.025 between 9 and 10. The Malastair 100. 100 miles, no doubt. Dudbolt's the man here. We've already got him unlocked, so we'll check him out on the next race after this.
Only the best parts you find here in my shop, huh?
Oh, here we go.
Outlanders, they come here. How do they find me? They come here, they mess up my store. Hey!
A dual 32 PCX injector.
Pute na noia! Chat, gotta know what. Have you seen my chance cube?
Turbo coolant pump, there's an increase.
They come here, they look around, they no buy. Why nobody buy? Back again, huh? Kunatitaki Malia! Putenanolia!
Here's Clegg Holdfast. Here we go. Actually, hold up. My mistake. I do want to see this.
The current record holder for this track is Dud Bolt.
Every once in a while, they'll have something interesting to say aside from current record holder. And every favorite racer has one, but I'm not going to sit here and go through that. His turning is much better than Beano's was. Not quite up to par with the sharp turns we're seeing here. The gas pulls on Malastair don't look like they have too much effect on traction. Here, go over that rock instead of trying to negotiate that tight curve. If you use the control stick to pull back, you'll be able to make the long jump. If you push forward, you'll be able to make a higher jump where necessary. And there's that sharp U-turn. You're going to need your brake for that.
It's a new lap record!
Make sure you're lined up real tight before you try boosting here. Obviously, if you're going for records, pairing won't help you that much in that regard. Missed the long jump and you're obviously toast on the spot. That's your best bet. Give yourself a soft landing off the brake. There are 8 different planets to race on in this game. We'll see 6 of them in the amateur circuit. 2 of them will have to wait until the semi-pro circuit. Really? Once the green light top speed indicator hits, then and only then can you boost.
It's a new lap record!
Excellent. And because Dud Bolt's already been unlocked, there's no ceremony this time. Big separation between 9 and 10, over 15 seconds. And then 11 was only about 0.03 of a second behind 10. Uvu 4, a very dark mining colony. Fudge Sang, the favorite on the Vengeance track. Now I'm beginning to think that these are wear and tear indicators on these parts. which essentially necessitates replacement as the game goes on. But when I was a kid, I never once considered that, and I still managed to beat every track. If you're a racer, it really kind of makes you think, doesn't it? And I mean like a real legitimate racer.
Only the best parts you find here in my shop, huh? They come here, they look around, they no buy. Why nobody buy?
We can give ourselves
here,
some
they look around, they no
repair
buy.
boost here.
Why nobody buy? Outlanders, they come here. How do they find me? They come here, they mess up my store. Hey!
It's that much wear and tear. That must be the main reason.
You'll not find a better deal anywhere, I think, huh? They come here, they look around, they no buy. Why nobody buy?
There's a stabilizer in slightly better shape.
Tulpa bunky dunko.
And an R300 repulsor grip.
Have you seen my chance cube?
Alright. As far as I can tell, there's no way to focus repairs on any one part.
Change. Ne wata no bata.
Okay. Time to begin, but first, where is Dud Bolt? Dud Bolt is right here. Now notice the front of his engines are a little bit weaponized. He's got those spikes. It'll allow him a little bit better survivability against frontal collisions, be it against opponents, loose objects like the breakable rocks. You're not going to do anything against the hard terrain, so don't even try and drill yourself a shortcut that way.
The current record holder for this track is Bud Sang.
Not for long. I enjoy the scenery of this planet. I've always been a night owl, and it's a very visible nighttime scenery. I like Malastare for a very similar reason. It's an evening feel, though, as opposed to late at night with the sun all the way down. Aquilaris, it's been well documented on the Alpha stream that I don't like water levels very much. But water's not really a factor in this game, so it's not a huge bother to me. I also love the cold, so Ando Prime isn't bad. The heat, not so much. So, for scenery, Mongaza isn't quite as attractive to me. And neither is Tatooine, being a desert planet. I like this anti-grav sequence, though. Sometimes the rocks are just too big, even for Dud Bolt's spiked frontage. Now, in the next lap, I'm going to show you guys a really nice little trick.
It's a new lap record!
So if you use C left and C right, you can turn your engine on its side to get you through something a little bit narrower. But on this anti-grav track, it'll give you something more. Once we get into that tunnel again, I'll show you exactly what I mean. See this? No one's even close to catching up. If you look on the map indicator there, you'll be able to see. You can change it to these flag indicators here, which give you approximate distance using everybody's flags. Now watch this. If you do the side saddle thing inside anti-grav, you'll get this. It's fun as hell to watch if you don't get seasick. I'm sure you're dying to hear the music on this planet, right? I'll wait no longer.
It's a new lap record! Whoa!
Uvu 4 and Endocrine have the same music. Hypolaris and Malastare have the same music. Mongaza and Tatooine have the same music. The other two planets each have their own music, different from any that we've heard so far. So there's 5 tracks total among the 8 planets. Now one last go round on the spinny go round. As you can see, the rocks respawn. It's really hard to dodge that while you're spinning. So if you're going for a speed record, don't get cute with it. Sometimes the rock just doesn't want to play ball. You'll automatically be made right when you come out of the anti-grav tunnel, so don't worry about that. You may be noticing a branch leading into this final stretch. Don't worry about that, it'll show up on a later track.
Oh yeah! It's a new lap record!
Improved every time, that's what we like to see here. But here's a new unlock. Fudge Sang. Engines comparable enough in size to Alderbeetos. Nothing closer than 0.025. And finally, for the amateur circuit, the Spice Mine run on Mongaza. Now, the rules are a little bit tighter for the final race in any given circuit. This time, in order to win the final race, or to survive the final race in the circuit, you need a medal, 3rd or higher. This time we got Mars Guo. Those two parts are wearing down bad.
Back again, huh? Puta Nanolia!
So we're going to have to make a swap back in order to improve performance.
What? You think you gonna beat Sebulba with that pod racer of yours? Ah! Put in an Olia! What do you want? Achubananaya! You break or you buy, huh? You banna pihota, Mindia, huh?
And it's taking 4 pit droids to maintain what we have here, so you can imagine how hard some of these races can be on your parts.
Kunatitaki Malia! They come here, they look around, they no buy. Why nobody buy?
Alright. Let's see what Fud Sang can do with his big-ass engines. To finish the amateur circuit.
The current record holder for this track is Mars Whoa.
There's an audible audience on this track. Similar opening to the Mongaza Speedway, but obviously a major expansion has been made upon it. Whoa! And of course, you should always keep your eyes open for hazards up ahead. Let's go right first. Another audience gallery. That one, however, is low enough to hurt you, unlike the ones on Aqualaris. As you can see, we're on a downgrade there by both the speed and the visual. I don't know what it's like for anybody else watching, but for me, these walls are very deceptive. Pay close attention as you continue. As you might expect from a circuit final, this is a very long track.
It's a new lap record.
Even overstated, that's 2 minutes on the first lap. Now, is there something special here? Yep, another path. Good workaround for that first tractor. Or whatever that vehicle is. Now we'll go left. It's just boardwalk. I doubt there's anything special about it. Paths here, oh shit. Very out of place for a lava planet. But hey, here we are. Get a taste of some of the wildlife if you're looking on either side. There's a reason I like the smaller pods better, like Anakin Skywalker.
It's a new lap record!
Let's go this way this time. Anakin's old service ramp trick. And once you finish a race in the money and progress in the tournament, you cannot race for the money there again. So if you're really unsure of yourself by the final lap, you may want to just restart the race and give it another try before you lose the money altogether. See if I can beat 6 minutes. I have reached 1,000 in the past. It is possible. I'm sure it's going to seriously wear down on your parts if you do reach that. It doesn't matter, I've been to both sides. If it does matter that much which side you go to, I'm not a speedrunner, so I don't really care. Obviously, upper versus lower isn't going to affect things very much. You can see down below, the track is just the same either way. Now we'll go out boosting. But we do beat 6.
It's a new lap record!
Like I said, long track. So now a lot's going to happen. First we got Mars Guo, who, as you might be able to guess by his name, has very large engines himself. Planet-sized, if you really want to get the joke. And look at this, we won by almost 45 seconds. The separations are real on a track this big. And now at the end of the circuit,
Fastest pod racer in the galaxy, Bud Sang.
the championship is only decided on this final track. As you can see on the top 3, Gasgano, or no, Mars Guo rather. And that's Rats Terrell standing on the white 3rd place podium. Mars Guo's on the red 2nd. So now, for having completed all 7 races in the amateur pod racing circuit, we unlock the first race in the intense invitational pod racing circuit. The invitation being complete the circuit. And to unlock the 4th race in this circuit, we have to place in all 3 of the first ones here. But that'll come at another time. Next up is the semi-pro circuit. Beginning back on Aquilaris with the Sunken City track, led by Bullseye Navarre, whom we've already unlocked. No, my mistake. I don't think we have. No, we haven't. Ignore me on that one. Anyway, the prize pool for the amateur circuit was 2,200 Trugets. Now it's up to 3,300, and everything proportions up the same way. Look back and do the math if you don't believe me, but yeah, it does. So how are we doing? Looks like our air brake is pretty torn up, which is interesting because we don't really use it. So I'm wondering if these are just arbitrary wears. Anyway.
Change your mind?
Yeah, our R300 is wearing out pretty good, so... The short term actually works out for us pretty good for the most part. Sometimes you get a trade-in value where you get a stat boost and a money return if it's that if you're that far along down. Yeah, you can see that brake is in bad shape. Alright, we've done good everywhere else.
What do you want? Outlanders, they come here. How do they find me, huh?
Nothing to be done there. There's Mars Guo. And now, let's begin the semi-pro circuit. Slightly different cutscene, even though we've seen this planet before. And let's see, too, what's different about this track.
I see Bullseye Navwar's just taking his place on the grid. That's a quick pod racer he's got there.
Compared to the Aqualaris Classic. Quick start here from the guy with the big engines. The beginning looks pretty familiar. It was a hard left turn previously, this time hard right back into this new territory. You can get cute with the fencing on the sides there if you want to start playing Trickster, but there's really no need for that. Get up top if you can, you might get the drop on somebody. Audience here will get a nice good look at you. It's faint, but you can hear the crowd cheering. If you listen real close. There's another way up if you decide to bear left and take it. And from here on, the rest of the track should look pretty familiar to you. Guo's a little bit better equipped to handle this than Beto was.
It's a new lap record!
Length is about comparable to the final of the last circuit. Just keep your head about you and remember what you've seen. And by this point, you'll have a pretty good idea of where to boost and where not to boost. Find the side that's open and stick to samesies. Go through that wide industrial tunnel if you so choose. Completely inadvisable with a big pod, what I just did. Obviously, if it's a game of who lands on who, the big engine is going to win every single time. If you like racing with big engines and the power advantages that go with it, better make sure you're real precise with your moves. You can afford that with a smaller engine, but obviously it comes with a power price. Pretty hard there. The bigger engines seem to hold off on getting overheated a little bit better too. Look at that gauge compared to, say, Anakin Skywalker's. Here's another good look at it. Or maybe not. Let's see. Where can I get a good boost? I gotta try and get up that other left range. Just for my own satisfaction, honestly, if not anything else. I don't see myself beating 6. Matter of fact, I'm almost entirely certain I'm not going to beat 6. Yeah, no, there's no way. If you boost while one of your power cells is on the warning label, it'll blow up instantly due to the stress. Hey, a win's a win, right? This will be a nice change from the last few. Those tiny engines of Bullseye Noirs. Excuse me. And another big win, too. Over 42 seconds. Howler Gorge on Endo Prime. The triangular-headed Rat's Turrell is the racer to beat here. A top speed coil.
Oh only the best parts you find here in my shop, huh?
Tiniest boost. Only because of wear and tear more than much else.
You're gonna lose unless you upgrade your pod racer, I think.
Get us a better control coupling.
Deal. You cannot beat Sebulba. He always wins.
Get us a better plug 8 here.
Ah, yes. We have lots of that. What do you want? They come here, they look around, they no buy. Why nobody buy?
Much better.
You pick or you buy, huh? You cannot beat Sebulba.
Bullseye Noirs are all the way at the end of the list. Look at those stats. Overall, that is nice. Back to Endo Prime. Look at that drop.
The current record holder for this track is Rats Terrell.
The favorite is always in that second position to the direct right of where you start. In case you're ever looking for a preview of what the racer you're about to unlock looks like. Look at that turning, that is crisp. Maybe a little too crisp if you're not careful. Crisp nonetheless. This has its advantages, properly controlled. Oh shit. I was about to be overtaken. Let's fly. And get our rear cell jacked up in the process. Target, oh shit. That was too close though, I was very nearly overtaken. Now to finish this track, this rock slalom from the upper path before is now the normal way of doing business. Can we make it into the secret tunnel?
It's a new lap record!
Sure can. Run toward the light. Run, my child. You can stay on top here, you're good to go. Maybe slip and slide. That'll get you hurt here. Baby, come
It's a
on.
new lap record.
I've got some pretty good distance anyway. Don't know how I survived that. Look at all the discoloration on those engine cells. I never made it through at boosted speed. Oh well. Ah, damn it, I hit the 990s. That was suicide, what I just did. I really would not recommend that. And here's Rat's Terrell. Look at those star-shaped engines. Big, pretty looking. Over 30 seconds. Oh, look at this. A 6th place tie. Don't know what decided it between Guo and Pagalies. Maybe a coin flip, but in any event, wow. Alright, the Doug Derby on Malastair. Doug being the name of Sebulba's race. But it's Elon Mack who's the favorite here, who is a default unlock of ours. Where we at? Still in pretty okay shape.
Back again, huh?
We could always do for a bit more.
You're
If we can
gonna
get it.
lose unless you upgrade your pod racer, I think. Outlanders.
Nice
They
repair
come here.
improvement.
How do they find me, huh?
Alright. Hey, there we go.
You banna pihota, Mindia, huh?
Little bit less wear.
You banna pihota, Mindia, huh? Chat, gotta know all ya, midwan.
Look at that. That's looking real good.
What do you want?
Oh, hey.
You cannot beat Sebulba. He always wins.
We're almost not going to do better than that. It's not going to stop me from hitting the junkyard, though. That is it. That's as far as we go. That's Terrell. A bit downstatted, but should still be usable. Kind of looks like a flying game cartridge, doesn't it?
The current record holder for this track is Elon Musk.
Did you see the brilliant flash that came out of his engines? Too bad it's turning his shit, though. Whoa! Would you have picked someplace better to lie down there, bud? Okay, so we're gonna need brakes there.
It's a new lap record.
This is in comparison a very short track. I was aiming for that rock that can't cost me. Still haven't woken up yet? Two of them got here on that short track. Right, brakes.
It's a new lap record.
Now at least I might have an easier time getting on that rock. There we go. The way they were catching up, this must be a shortcut. It makes sense, it looks like it's an air track principle. Yeah, I'm not going to attempt boosting here. Slowly. There we go. Break your way into the wall and you just might live.
It's a new lap record.
Vast improvement on the last lap. Well, we've seen a tie already. Here's one of the two planets we haven't seen yet. Oribana, the sky planet. Juan Sandage. Ooh. Traction's looking pretty terrible.
You'll not find a better deal anywhere, I think, huh? Wanna meet Choboda? Achubananaya!
You'll find that we'll rotate fairly often among all the same parts here.
Ootmins. You want that one, huh? You'll not find a better deal anywhere, I think, huh? They come here, they look around, they no buy. Why nobody buys?
Yeah, looks like we're in good shape here. There's Elon Mack. Far more engine than jet.
I see that the dashing Juan Sandage has joined the group for today's race. He's been pod racing since he was 2.
I've always loved the sky-high scenery that goes with this planet. I mean, look at it. Look at that horizon out there. That's going to be tough to negotiate in midair. It's the first time this game I've been overtaken. Guess I better do something about that. How did he survive that?
It's a new lap record.
Oh boy. I may have some serious opposition this time around. Better find my boost spots and find them quick. Using my map as a little bit of a look ahead here. Or my radar indicator, I guess.
It's a new lap record.
This is the same music from when Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan were taking out all those battle droids in the hangar. I never did figure out how to deal with that one. Take a leaping lead wherever I can here.
It's a new lap record.
It never really got hairy after the first lap. Guess I just needed to find my marks. The wing design on this engine. Well, you'd think the wings would be flipped the other way around, wouldn't you? Our first three-peat planet, the Zuga Challenge, led by Bull's Roar. Amazing we have a three-peat before we even see all the planets once. There's one more to go. And it is coming up in this circuit. That's wearing out bad.
Back again, huh?
What's Jar Jar doing here?
Something else?
Something to be said about keeping your parts in rotation here. Proper maintenance, like any vehicle, crucial to its operation. There's really no point in going to the junkyard now because if you look at all the parts, everything is fully maintained now.
They come here, they look around, they no buy. Why nobody buy?
Unless you get lucky enough to spot the next model up. Which really doesn't happen much. Can't get any better for traction or for air brake than this guy. Pardon me.
The current record holder for this track is Bulls Roar.
If you're able to time your accelerator half a second before the green light, that's how you get that boost. Similar principle on Mario Kart. Proper timing for a good start. Well, a lot of vehicles out here. See the length of time the overheat's taking? That's helpful if you've got a fast pod. But as you can see, his boost speed really doesn't improve very much upon his normal speed, so there's almost no point unless you're in a real close pinch to using that. Nobody's even close, though. I'm not worried about it. Yep, here's a jump. The boost isn't that reliable for doing that, so don't quote yourself on its use. Best thing you can do is pull back, like we saw on the AlphaStar 100. Was that the one? I believe so. The one with the big jump in the middle.
It's a new lap record.
Well, no question, this is the longest track yet. It'd be very easy to push 7 minutes here. Just keep your head about you and you'll do fine. I could probably have made that while boosting, but even then it was close to 10. guess pulling back isn't super reliable either. Maybe the boost is better for this jump. At least that's what current race statistics tell us. Anyway, there's a good amount of straightaway here. So if you have a racer with a high top speed, you'll be able to get away with a lot of trickery here.
It's a new lap record!
That could have been worse. It's over here. I don't think I've been yet. Oh yeah, that's definitely makeable. Another temperature indicator I don't think I've mentioned is watch the glowing rims around the engine cells. Obviously red for hot, blue for cold. And the temperature will never rise if you're not boosting. So you don't have to worry about some random occurrence happening to set you on fire. Because it depends from jump to jump. If you have a lip where pulling back will actually get you some propulsion, that'll help you. If not, speed, speed, speed. Can we make it?
It's a new lap record!
Not in any healthy way, but we made it. We crossed the line. It doesn't matter who shows up now. Yeah, they'll come back eventually after that. But yeah, you'll never be out of commission that long during the actual race. Here's Bull's Roar. Propelled by 4 itty-bitty little jets on each engine. That's a new one, close to 50 seconds ahead. Hard to call yourself a favor with that much separation. And there's our first 8+. Here's the final planet that we haven't seen, Barunda, the rainy vegetation planet. And first we're going to play on the Baru coast with Neva Key as the favorite, regarded according to the manual as the slowest pod racer that there is. And his setup is all in one piece. His cockpit is front attached to his engines. No cables, no floating, no additional floating, no nothing. It's just one. It's basically a speeder. That's what it is. And when we get done with this, you will see that. How we doing? We definitely stand to do better for turning and repair.
Back again, huh? Outlanders, they come here. How do they find me? They come here, they mess up my store. Hey! Putenanoia! Chubananaya!
See, look at this.
Outlanders, they come here.
The parts are primarily arranged by the stat they boost and secondarily arranged by model. But because of wear and tear, you can see that a higher model might give you less than a lower one.
Outlanders, they come here. How do they find me?
Upgrades are near max. And you can see with all the upgrades we have going on, some of the stats still aren't at max, which means some of these guys have some piss poor starting stats. So here's our first look at Barunda.
Steve McKee is piloting his new super experimental pod racer. This may be the future of pod racer racing, folks, so take a good look. No cables!
It's a speeder, that's all it is. Alright, there's a little bit of a lag on this guy's turning. I'm able to adapt without too much of a problem, so it's all good. As might be expected, sand will slow you down, so boost it to counteract it if you so desire. I do not like this guy's handling at all. There's a shortcut if you're able to perceive the branches in front of you that are loose and uncovering something visible behind it. And here's a little bit of good news, his engines are tough.
It's a new record!
So at least he's got engines that deal well enough with the fact that his handling sucks. Now, because I didn't do a great deal of part buying with the original cartridge, I have to think that my stats would have been really, really low in comparison to what could have been. And obviously you can't boost when your engine is under repair. And if you're not careful, you make a bouncy ball out of your pod real quick. Especially on these lips. Now, if you know about that secret, it'd be kind of dumb to take the main track instead. It's because it follows the same wide, twisty pattern. Now, if that guy is the slowest pod in the world. I don't know how he's maintaining second place. His technique must be that much better. Or the rumors were false, one or the other. And now we have the music that formed the intro for this game. Or the bongo subscene, whichever you prefer. Going through Naboo's waters. Get a hold of yourself. Careful not to turn left coming out of there. I could do with a minor slowdown here at this point. Yeah, let's swap you two. This has to be a city center or something we're flying through, right? Surely the officials of this planet would not be too happy with that.
It's a new lap record.
So let's get a look at this cable-less pod. Hey, another tie. And this time they were both awarded 4th or 5th place. I guess the money would be split evenly if it were a money finishing position. And now we come to the end of the semi-pro pod racing circuit with our next three-peat planet. Bumpy's Breakers on Aquilaris. Arc Bumpy Roos. And again, as was the case in the previous final, you need 3rd place. Oh my god. Coolant pump is in nasty shape.
Back again, huh? Have you seen my chance cube?
We're over the off the chart on top speed.
You want that one, huh?
Improvements, no matter how small.
Deal.
Still never a bad
Have
thing.
you seen my chance cube? You want that one, huh? You'll not find a better deal anywhere, I think, huh? Have you seen my chance cube? You race pretty good, no doubts there, huh?
Well, that wouldn't be wise, now would it?
Wanna meet Choboda?
Look at this. It's a speeder. And that being said, if one of his engines blows out, he's going to be taken for a real ride.
The current record holder for this track is Art Bumpy Roos.
His turning's pretty good. And he seems about as fast as any other pod racer I've flown today. I'm inclined to believe there was nothing to the rumors that the manual was spreading. I'm actually liking the handling of this one. The engines don't run to the ground like some of the other pods do. Oh! That could have been dangerous if I'd let it. Here's a tunnel I never went into last time. Not much to it. And the rest of this looks like it's going to be the AlphaPlays Classic. Oh. Or maybe not, because that wasn't there on that track. And now the gallery's on the other side. This is one very long track.
It's a new lap record.
Beat 7.5 would be an accomplishment. What I tell you, that's a ride right there. There are many games in one particular genre where grinding is a good thing. This is not one of them. Is that a branch down into the water? I'm gonna have to check that on the next lap. Whoa. Okay, did a piece of the track just blow up? That's certainly a thing, isn't it? Boy. Whoops. Totally forgot. This time you can see on the map, it's almost a full circle with this audience gallery. Feels like a boost down this way. Yeah, probably not so advisable, right? Through it this time. And what's down here? Okay, so it's a short one. Oh yeah, that's right. And at least one of them was coming up. So I better play this next part fairly safe. On this turn. Came into it a little too quick. Not quite right to give the audience a show. Not as far as angle goes, at least. And that is the semi-pro circuit. Another huge pair on this guy. No ties, but look how close to 9 and 10. 0.015.
Fastest pod racer in the galaxy. Neva Key.
No way the slowest pod in the world would have ever done that. There's Roos. And that is Gascano in third. Still amazes me that all the ceremonies happen on Tatooine, when neither of the finals took place there. Okay, this track right here is pure hell on Earth, but we'll get to that later. Next up is the Galactic Pod Racing Circuit, starting on Uvu 4. Prize pool increases to 4,400, and Toy Dampener is the first favorite to go. turning took a serious nosedive here.
Change your mind? They come here, they look around, they no buy. Why nobody buy?
Can get an increase on the R600. It's got a better coupling.
You banna pihota, Mindia.
Look at this increase.
Achubanadaya! Ah, yes! We have lots of that. How come they come here? How do they find me? Fuipaniaga!
Well, that's more like it, huh? Alright, let's take Bumpy out for a spin. The Executioner track on Uvu 4. Now things are going to start getting really tough.
The current record holder for this track is Noah Defner.
You may not be able to tell from watching it, but this track feels a lot faster than any before it. Oh, look out, look out. That's a new one on me, a straight vertical drop. That landing happened because I was pushing up. I love the lighting effect on this track. Pick a nostril, any nostril. The anti-grav holds for a couple seconds here.
It's a new lap record.
Again, the danger of using a big engine. And why in the later stages of the game where you got to be maneuverable, it might be just a bit inadvisable. What's happening, Mayo? Straight vertical drop, heads up. What's tell you after this because this is not an easy track. That's gonna spin. Watch yourself. Let's go this way. Not much tougher than the previous nostril. Some of them were, yeah. And in the later stages of the game, like we're in now, the big engines are not the most advisable for maneuverability. But I am giving every pod in the game at least a once over, maybe more depending on if I have to repeat it. I've always been more fond of the smaller, sleeker racers. But I mean, I can make it work. Oh shit, they're coming. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this guy's the resident doofus of the galaxy. Oh fuck, here they come. You can see the yellow dots approaching. Yeah, maybe the outer one wasn't such a good idea. Huh? Okay. Yes, you won. Congratulations. Well, that's going to give us toy dampener. It's got a very intriguing zebra color scheme, plus wings. There's another close one, 4th and 5th, 0.012 seconds. But for those of you who haven't joined us until now, we've already had 2 ties. None of which were in money-making positions, so it really doesn't matter. Now we move on to another Malistaire, Sebulba's Legacy. 3 guesses as to who's the favorite here. This is the second out of his 3 tracks, so he will not unlock here either. Nothing too terrible here. Acceleration and brake could do for some fix.
Back again, huh?
Let's go from the start of the list and see what we can do. We can bring our turning up some. And our acceleration. Brake can improve.
Deal.
Cooling can improve a teeny bit.
You want that one, huh?
And repair can improve a teeny bit.
Ah. Newata Nobata. Have you seen my chance cube?
Junkyard doesn't give us any good.
Sebulba. Here.
Who do we just get? Dampener? Those are some of the best stats we've worked with so far. This ought to be good. That's a wide curve.
There he is, the reigning champion of the Poster Classic and the crowd favorite, Sububa.
Let's go!
No, when you buy parts in this one, the upgrades are global. I'm glad for that too, because that sequence would have taken forever, and I'm already pretty much pushing an hour per circuit. Okay, that was fortunate. Ah. Oh, absolutely. And I mean, if you couldn't tell by the ridiculous number I have down there, I used an infinite money cheat just so I didn't have to take forever explaining the stat process. That and honestly, the real watchability is in the races themselves anyway, so. That's enough. Up, one of them's coming. Two of them are coming. Better find a place to boost and find it fast. Ouch. Acquired funds, that's one way to put it. I'm really not finding a good place to boost here. Here's one. If only one. I need to get some more boost in, or they stand to catch up if I screw up again. Alright, I need to hang left here. That was probably really close. Stay on the high curve if you can. It'll give you the final boost at the end.
It's a new lap record!
That one was pretty short compared to previous. I'm pretty sure this was Sebulba's stomping ground track. The dogs do grow up on Malastare. And again, he does not get unlocked. Okay. Grabvine Gateway on Barunda. Headed up by Anakin Skywalker. Now we can play as the favorite since he's already unlocked. But we're not going to do that. It literally all it is if you play as the favorite, it'll just put some other arbitrary guy in the favorite's position. Biggest need is on top speed.
You'll not find a better deal anywhere, I think, huh?
But it looks like we can get small gains anywhere here. There's a new piece, the control stabilizer for turning.
Something else?
Ooh, there you go. Yeah, the quadrajet is further than the trijet. We'll do that.
Huh? You want that one, huh? Uh-huh. Kunatitaki Malia! Newata Nobata! They come here, they look around, they know by.
We've already seen Anakin tonight. So who have we not seen? We saw Endicott earlier. We saw Dud Bolt. We have yet to see Gasgano. We saw Elon Mack. We have not seen Odie Mandrell. Alright, so let's have Gasgano back. And let's do this. After we check our upgrades one more time. Looking good, everything's at max. Let's go. This was one of the tougher ones when I was younger.
It's the little human boy, born on Tatooine, Anakin Skywalker. Well, let's hope he can just finish the race.
Not much faith in the humans, eh, Greg? It's true. But the first movie did show that this human is not. And then, of course, over the time of the next several films, Anakin became what he became, and that was that. Oh, look out. If you're not watching your map closely, it is very easy to get lost here. And if you get lost, you're gonna get caught up too. Oh, this guy's turning is not good. Shit. Figure out a move now. That bridge is broken.
Watch out! It's not for brains!
It's a new lap record.
At least I managed to come away from it in the first place. Yeah, for those of you keeping score, definitely not the right choice for this track.
Watch out, it's lost for brains! Eat my dust, my ball!
I'm gonna have to take some chances here.
Run!
Weak insults aside, he's giving me trouble. Alright, I think I know how I'm going to deal with this.
It's a new lap record.
There. If I can avoid hitting the gas as much, I should be okay. There's really nowhere to boost, which means tactics are the name of the game here. I might have been able to get away with it there. Should be able to beat 7.5. Yep.
It's a new lap record.
That was tough. The boost holds up until the gauge in the bottom right maxes out. If you hit the top, one of your engines catches fire. And until you repair it and put it out, it'll drain away your engine cells. Yeah, so you gotta play that carefully. Another near tie at the bottom there. 0.015 between 10 and 11. And the victories are getting narrower and narrower. Only about 2.5 seconds this time. The Andobi Mountain Run on Ando Prime, led by Mawanik. There's only one racer we haven't seen up to this point. Ah, jeez. I'm not surprised by this. Or this.
Back again, huh? What? You think you gonna beat Sebulba with that pod racer of yours? Ah!
That's not how we're gonna beat Sebulba.
Putananolia! They come here, they look around, they no buy. Why nobody buy?
We're gonna beat Sebulba canonically. The parts you get here are always pristine. It's beginning to look like the junkyard can't help us much more. But it looks like that break will give us a little bit more. Much better. The only pod we have unlocked and have not seen yet is Odie Mandrell. So let's use him for this one. So we take another trip to the cold.
The current record holder for this track is Mahanik.
Oh, Mahanik? Is that how it's pronounced? We've started here every time we've been on this planet. But this time, we've been branched off a little bit. Oh no, it's not uncharted territory. That is some drama in the early part of this one. Here we go. Oh, now we have a tunnel in its place. Here's where the new stuff begins. Pretty standard. We got us a figure 8 split to start out this new piece. Stick to your landmarks and hold to one direction and you'll be fine. A couple guys took the shortcut. A bunch of guys took the shortcut.
It's a new lap record.
Yeah, we missed over reliable. Oh well. By now, your stats should be high enough to just overcome somebody based on natural speed alone. Yeah, that was a much less bumpy ride than the last time was. There's a little motorcycle analogy again. Oh, fucking hell. That's gonna cost me. See that, folks? Don't go right. Take the hidden tunnel if you can. Because everybody else is going to, and it's quick. Look out. This is the first lap all game that I did not finish first. I need to find Mandra, or I need to find Mahana now. He's on this branch. Okay, I can't afford any mishaps. That's a mishap. I'm sure somebody's going to take that far branch left that I missed. And if they do, I'm in trouble. So far, so good. I think I'm alright.
It's a new lap record.
That could have been trouble. Well, here's our first new unlock in quite some time. And his engines are driven only by the little jets on the sides. Makes you wonder how he gets enough power. Death Row's Revenge, Ordibana. Odie Mandrell, already unlocked. We're gonna stick with him. Now this injector is at the point now where it's giving us absolutely no stat boost.
Change your mind? You cannot beat Sebulba. He always wins.
You can see the trade value is basically nothing because the thing is shot.
Deal. Have you seen my chance cube? Put it on all ya! You'll not find a better deal anywhere, I think, huh?
Much better. We'll stick with Mandrell so that we can say we did one with the favorite.
The current record holder for this track is Odie Mandrell.
That's Neva Key in the favorite spot, to my right. Let's see how a favorite is supposed to perform, shall we? Stay up top if you can. You lose a little bit of forward progress if you drop down here. It's like a slalom. Stick to the post and you're good. If you're wondering about that guy with 4 engines, we'll see him later on.
It's a new lap record.
No boosting there. It's got to be one good place. It might just be this tunnel.
It's a new lap record.
Autobahn is pretty tough, technically. Generally shorter in comparison, but tough. Oops. One little clip, and look how close they're coming. Again, good technique will save your life here. The Fire Mountain Rally on Barunda. Headed by E.B. Endicott. We've seen him, he's unlocked. Before we do much more, I need the restroom. I will be right back. Okay. Brake and cooling are worn down.
Back again, huh? Chat, gadanoalya, mitwana no pata. Outlanders, they come here. How do they find me? They come here. Outlanders, they come here. How do they find me?
There's the one. And here we go. Oh yeah, that's looking hot. I have a feeling engine fires are going to be the name of the game on this track.
The current record holder for this track is Edie Endicott.
And again, they catch you right on a loop.
What?
You can see the speed of this track, folks. Better be really on top of it by now. That means really looking ahead, really utilizing technique, really watching your back. And into the volcano. Careful not to drop into the lava. The temperature will go up without ever boosting. And you could have multiple fires, so be careful. If your cooling stat is high, you don't have to worry about that as much. Fell for a trap there.
What?
No lasting effect, thankfully.
It's a new lap record.
Things keep going like that, I might push 9 minutes. looks like I got some good separation. Not so much now, but it was. You want to center onto the low track if you can. Oh crap, I'm trapped. If you're not careful down in that volcano, you'll slip and you'll run into a rock face. If you're not fortunate enough to blow up and respawn, you're going to lose a lot of ground.
It's a new lap record.
Bad place to repair. Made it. This is easily the longest it's taken me to beat a cross up to this point. I wonder if anybody will hit 10 minutes.
Oi, not good.
It's a new lap record.
Nope, not even close. Finally, the race everybody's been waiting for. The recreation of the Bunta Classic from the first film. Or should I say the Episode 1 film. First canonically, anyway. Obviously, the favorite is Sebulba, and now's the time we'll finally get to unlock him.
You come back, huh? You race pretty good, no doubts there, huh? Have you seen my chance cube? Something else? You'll not find a better deal anywhere, I think, huh? Outlanders, they come here. How do they find me?
I said earlier tonight I was going to beat Sebulba canonically. The only pod for this job is Anakin Skywalker. Here we go.
The current record holder for this track is Sebulba.
That's how to start. This is actually a pretty faithful recreation, so if you've seen the film, you might be able to draw some idea of what to expect here. There's that big service ramp. Big gorges. Here's the canyon. Oh, not good. Well, Anakin being a ways behind is canon. Him losing, however, is not.
Come on, work!
The Tusken Raider Canyon. Watch out for the flames. Be ready to repair at any time. How did he slip so far ahead?
It's a new lap record.
He barely held first place. But I'm going to have to find a better way to do this. Let's try going down and see what happens. Ow, nothing good. Oh boy. I am struggling here. This is really bad.
Trooper!
I am definitely in trouble here. And I keep getting clipped off. I am in 6th. This is not good. This is where the illusion breaks. This is where the illusion breaks. I'm just very saddened it's on the track I should be the most familiar with. I'm not going to win this track. Folks, you're about to see an illusion broken. Damn it, there goes my last chance. So far tonight, you've seen me pull this off with organic skill. However,
It's a new lap record.
However, this whole time I have had an always first insurance cheat on, just in case of something like this where I kept getting clipped off by the walls or some dumb, unrealistic crap like that. So, the official record will show that I finished this in 5th place, but according to the game, I won and have unlocked Sebulba. Now there's something special about Sebulba, which we'll see on the track that we're about to unlock. Yeah, I did some filthy here. Over 10 seconds behind. I had absolutely no chance.
Fastest pod racer in the galaxy, Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, I won!
Never mind that somebody obviously paid somebody off here. Gasgano in bronze again. I was thinking Abyss would be the track where the illusion breaks. Well, in any event, here's the credits run. But we're actually not finished here. Remember those invitational circuit tracks? Yeah, we still got to do them. You have the green announcer, Greg Proops. There you go. You can tell if you listen carefully, too, that a lot of these guys had multiple roles. So this is if you played from the view of first person. Never actively tried to sabotage the project. That's fucking funny. The ninnies at Nintendo. All right, like I said, we got a little bit more to do here. Now, Sebulba's got something special about him. Something no other racer has. This time, the money is bumped up to 5,500 True Guts, and every race, you must place third or better to score the flag and the progression. Slide Parameter is our new boy this time. All things considered, not too bad.
Only the best parts you find here in my shop, huh? Chat, gotta know ya, mit wanna know pata.
And of course, Watto's been rooting for Sebulba since the beginning of this thing.
Putenanolia!
Just go, Pete Donkey.
They come here, they look around, they no buy. Why nobody buy? Kunatitaki Malia!
His arms are his legs, and his legs are his arms.
How do they find me?
Just go, Pete Donkey.
Not bad, I'll take it. This is what again? Endoprime Centrum. Let's go.
It's Slide Parameter in his modified Kaiser Arrow Stinger. Very sharp.
Sebulba's got a flamethrower shooting out of his right engine. You want to put a real serious hurting on somebody that's on your side? Torch him. Now the invitational tracks vary in difficulty. This one was unlocked in the amateur, for the amateur circuit, so you can expect it to be considerably easier than the Boonsa Classic was.
It's a new lap record!
That's just for multi-tapping the R button. Any other pod, it'll just be a taunt by itself. I don't use it because it's too much noise. Too much to distract from the actual technique here.
It's a new lap record.
Nothing like flying through a city square, huh?
It's a new lap record.
This one's built pretty similar to Anakin's pod. And a nice victory, too. Over 20 seconds. Now... Oh, we only have to beat one invitational to unlock this thing? Well, that actually adjusts things a little bit, and I'll explain in a minute. So, many people agree that this track, Abyss on Ordubana, is the true toughest out of all of them in this game, even more so than the Bunta Classic. And you'll see why. This annoying frog, Bazi Baranta, is the favorite. Pod is still really good.
You come back, huh?
I'll tell you what, though.
You want that one, huh?
You're going to want your turning tip-top, as well as everything else.
Culpa da Bunky Dunko. Ne wata no bata. Outlanders.
Slide Paramita. Look at those stats. This is pretty much who you're going to want for a track like this, because this is going to be tough. Here's one of the reasons why. You see that spiral?
I see three-time winner Bazi Baranta is back for another trial.
Take any advantage you can on this one. And if you possibly can't, stay up top, because there's a shortcut to go with that. If you can't, you better be prepared to take some major risks. Because that upper track is a big shortcut. That's the main reason why this track is so tough, but I don't know if I don't know if too many people recognize that fact. Try and stay up there as best I can for the other 2 laps. But that is not an easy task, no matter what your stats are. As a matter of fact, for this track, you may even want to engineer your turn stat down for this one. Okay, you see how bad I'm doing here? That upper track is a obviously well-known secret. Which if you don't know how to stay up there, you will never place in this one. Well, the problem with this guy is he's got a very wide gap between his engines. Yeah, no question about it. This will be a last place finish.
It's a new lap record.
Watch carefully up top. See that? There comes a point where the top track takes a totally different direction. And this track's pretty buggy to begin with, as you can see. Public record will show that I came in 12th last place. 12th place, last place, yeah. That is a really, ridiculously tough course just because of that high split and how hard it is to stay up. This guy's engines are built in similar shape to EB Endicott's, except his design looks much cooler. 36-second distance between 9th and 10th. And look how close we had it from 3rd through 6th. 0.041 separating 3 and 6 here. We're going to go to Inferno first. And the reason why is the Gauntlet on Uvu 4 has somebody we've already unlocked. And Inferno on Barunda has somebody we haven't. So we'll go here first. How bad was this? Top speed suffered heartily.
Change your mind? They come here, they look around, they no buy. Why nobody buy? You want that one, huh?
We'll keep our stats in balance here.
Have you seen my chance cube? Kunatitaki Malia! Achubananaya! Fwipaniaga!
Now we need Bozzy. Here we go. The top level invitational track.
The current record holder for this track is Ben Quadraneros.
His engines are a very deceptive size. Without big fancy shortcuts to contend with like on this guy's home track. It's a lot less difficult. There comes a point in this very difficult volcanic recession
It's a new lap record.
that water becomes a very welcome relief. Look ahead, watch the rendering. Don't mind the shaking, just stick with it.
It's a new lap record.
Short track, but more than made up for in difficulty. The size of this guy's engines make him prone to running aground. I didn't win by much, that's for sure. Oh, hey, I didn't notice that. The forward spikes. The final unlock. The four-engined Ben Quadraneros. There you go, just a little over a second. And lastly, Gasgano's Gauntlet. You know what? Let's get a good look.
Back again, huh?
His indicators aren't affected by the fact that he's
You
got four
cannot
engines.
beat Sebulba. He always wins. What? You think you gonna beat Sebulba with that pod racer of yours? Ah! You banna pihota, Mindia, huh? Deal. Have you seen my chance cube?
Alright. I think we've been pedantic enough. Time to finish this.
The current record holder for this track is Gasgano.
As you can see, the indicators still only show two engines. The manual says he's prone to a quick overheat. But I'm sure that's somewhat negated by the stat boosting. Now this is the first. We're actually on the planet. Whoa! Meteor shower. Same general idea as the Tusken Raiders. Be ready to go. I gotta try and get that center ramp. Any anti-grav this time? Yep.
It's a new lap record.
Well, not very much anti-grav, but anti-grav nonetheless. That warp gate looking tunnel is hypnotic. Don't expect to get through there without at least one fire to put out. Because odds are you're going to suffer one. Yeah, that might have been a good idea. Crossing instead of trying going down. Oh, that was a tower. Never mind. Also, the wrong energy binder went out. Looks like I got distance again on pure speed. To this stage of the game is kind of what you want. Well, as we begin this final lap, hopefully everybody has had fun watching this one. This was the second N64 game that I ever owned. Behind only Ton of Trouble, which I have covered previously. One of my earliest memories of console gaming. Wasn't until a bit later in life, but I had an NES or an SNES. I was all DOS growing up. Oh no, you don't. No way. Not after all this. We're finishing this right. Oh shit, maybe not. Damn, he's on the high road. Okay, looks like I got ahead. There's our 1,000. I was hoping to do it one more time, but I guess I'm just going to have to do it this way. Thank you all for watching. Oh, son of a... Oh. Damn, that's a second place. And what would have essentially been my first leg. Oh well. I had my fun. Hope you guys did too. Tune in tomorrow for something else. Have an alpha night.
Yeah,